and welcome to Go, my favorite sports team. The sporting podcast is going to teach you all about the world of sports and hopefully warm your heart along the way. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. What a wonderful... You wouldn't have done it without me, would you have?
Maybe. Yes, I did. I did do the Valentine's Day episode without you.
Well, that's weird because I was operating under the assumption that we were going to go into this loving, beautiful Valentine's Day, which is today. And we were going to talk about the world of love and sports. I had a whole thing presented, everything prepared, everything written down, every joke, every bit, every heartwarming moment.
Yeah, but now you're going to have to wait a year.
Well, I'll be dead by then, so I don't think that's
I hope
happen.
not.
We all hope for many things.
That's true. That's true. There are a lot of hopes and dreams out there, especially in the sporting world with the Olympics going on.
Yeah, and a lot of crushed dreams.
Yeah, there are a lot of crushed dreams. Are you talking about me crushing your dream of Valentine's Day? What do you... Oh.
They can't see.
They can't see. Yeah, Team Canada pushing the stone.
Okay, you're going to need to explain that one to me because I'm pretty sure that was illegal, but they say it so confidently that it's not.
By rule, in the curling rule book, once you release the stone, you cannot touch it again.
Pretty cut and dry.
So it's pretty cut and dry.
But they say it so confidently that they can.
Yeah, I didn't touch it. Well, the guy, did you hear the guy? He said, I never touched it.
Yeah, I heard it many times. He proclaimed that very loudly.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating. How brazenly someone can just lie.
The thing is, how much with the weight of that stone does that little finger flick do unless it's to create spin, which then it does a lot.
No, I think even a touch would do a lot because I don't know it too well, but I was watching it a lot and like the amount of one tiny little butterfly flap to that stone over that long trajectory, that is quite a profound thing. I mean, if scrubbing the beads in front of it does it, then I think actually you can do a lot of force with like just a little finger touch, even if it's just pretty light. I mean, that can affect the trajectory.
Yeah. And especially if you're affecting the spin on the stone, then how it curves.
But I mean, if you were actually good at the sport, you would have done all that adjustment
before your finger did,
What's your finger going to do? I don't think I can be very precise with my finger in terms of adjusting something. I think actually...
What if that's like his like nervous tick?
He has to touch it?
Yeah, he's like...
Maybe he doesn't even realize he does it. Maybe, or he's cheating.
Or both.
Yeah, it could be.
He doesn't realize and he's cheating.
Yeah, just like you cheated on me in the episode of Love.
Did you watch the episode?
I watched clips of it.
Okay.
And why?
I was just curious.
Yeah, I know it was the singles thing, but that's only because you made it that. It could have been the.
It could have been. Listen, I have plenty more to go for next year. We could do it for Sweetest Day. Would that make it up for you?
The fuck's a Sweetest Day?
I don't know. It's another holiday thing. When is Sweetest Day? October 17th.
What a random day.
It is. It really.
Stupid day. That's not a day. October 17th is a myth.
Isn't that right after Bob's birthday? Or right before?
I don't know. You know birthdays better than I do.
Is he he's the 18th. I think he's the 18th.
Anyway, so I was scorned.
Well, see, here's what happened. All right. To explain it to you, you messaged me saying you had to run somewhere. And so I, quick on my feet, made a call. And I planned ahead and had a guest fly in, by the way, for that episode. And recorded that episode with them in your stead because I wanted to make sure we still had one so you didn't have to worry about it.
We had some. They just weren't Valentine's themed.
True.
I can't believe this. I feel betrayed.
Well, how much more betrayed are you going to feel when the episode next week also doesn't have you in it?
What the fuck? All right, fine, whatever. Less work for me to do. Jacques from Bra Moment 2060. Oh, the ghosts. I forgot about the whole ghost possessing me.
The Reddit.
Oh my God, the reddit.com/r/GMFST. Bra Moment 2060 says, I've come to a conclusion on the Hockey Primer 2.0, which he's expecting and hasn't happened yet because Tyler's too weak. Tyler, quote, the master of balls and holes. I'm assuming that's sarcastic quotations. He doesn't provide a last name, so it must be. Believes he is unqualified to teach Mark and the viewers about hockey as the sport has no balls and no holes. Also, listeners don't exist, apparently.
Well, if you watch the show Heated Rivalry, there are plenty of balls in men's hockey. Or you read the book. It's about two gay dudes.
There's about two gay dudes. No hockey involved. Just it's about two gay guys. You know?
It is, but they're on rivalry team. Yeah, anyway. They have balls. So balls in men's hockey do exist. They're just in the pants.
What about
holes?
No, I was gonna say what about women's hockey, but that's obvious. Okay, that makes sense. But where's the balls in that case?
In that case,
he doesn't have an answer. He doesn't know.
It's figurative for the cojones to be able to play the sport.
We're not talking about figurative balls. If we get into that and your already loosey-goosey definition of what a sport is, then we're never going to actually land what a sport is.
But there are holes. There are stake holes for the goal.
I was thinking about vaginas, but I guess that's not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I guess, that's true. That also works. With men's and women's hockey, we get the full thing of balls and holes.
Which is why we need both.
Exactly.
But we'll never know what that sport actually is because this coward will not teach us.
I did.
He did, though.
They're just mad because it was before I started doing the whole history thing and the extra stuff. And it was, I will say, it was...
Back when we were funny. Oh,
the good old days.
The good old days.
Of comedy that we had.
Before comedy became illegal, am I right?
That's so true.
These woke.
The FCC bans people from appearing because they're too funny.
You know how quickly we could rocket up to the number one on the chart? That red pill is glowing back there this whole time. The red, it's just right there. We just need to reach for it and our soul.
Let's talk about all the horrible gambling things, or the good gambling things.
I think Epstein was a good guy.
The worst part is when you did that motion, I just pictured your character in Iron Lung.
Wait, whoa. That character from The Convict was not on the Epstein list. Let's be very clear. That's not why he was there. Let's not go slandering that character.
All right.
Look, he may have killed people. Yeah. That's for sure. But let's not
He didn't eat them.
I don't think Epstein was convicted for eating people. Although if that happened, I'm sure. Anyway,
the plan of this was to talk about deadly sports, and we're really into some.
We're getting deadly. I have another Jacuse, though. Get out of here. All right. Chicken Potato King, Singles Awareness Day. Dear Tyler, Singles Awareness Day is actually on the 15th of February, not the 14th. It's the day where all the depressed singles buy themselves discount chocolates. Thankfully, as of a couple weeks ago, I will not be participating in Singles Awareness Day since I now have a Valentine, unlike you, Tyler. you guys are amazing. Love your podcast.
You got me so good, I'm crying.
Yeah, me really got you, man. Even me reading The Ghost through me just, oh, man, what a burn.
Yeah, so here's the thing. That's what they designated as. I'm sorry, but on Valentine's Day, that's when you're really aware you're single. Therefore, it's the true Single Awareness Day. As much as you argue based on them being like, let's throw out a day afterwards, eat the chocolate. It's just discount chocolate day. You are out and about and you see all the taken people together, and that's when you're really aware that you're single and lonely, and therefore it is Singles Awareness Day, same day as Valentine's Day.
I don't think it can be the same day because you can't have two holidays on
incorrect. There are plenty of holidays that occur at the same time on the same day.
Those other ones aren't real, and we all know that.
Oh.
Yeah, so anyway, I just Googled it also, and Sunday, February 15th is Singles Awareness Day.
I'm aware, but that was relatively newly created just to be able to be like, hey, just so you know, you're single. Here's a day for you.
Well, then your declaration that it's not real is even newer than that. Therefore, if we go in by your own criteria, it has to be overridden by the previous one, which is now old.
Or it's based off of language and pop culture named Singles Awareness Day on Valentine's Day because you're more obviously aware that you're single, so you're very aware you're single.
You are pop culture? Mr. Culture?
Much like you embody the ghost, I embody the culture.
Oh my God. You'd think you'd be cooler.
You'd think I'd have art on my walls.
No, you as soon as I lent you my nail gun, you'll have 2 arts on your wall.
Oh, 3, 4. Clock counts as art because it's got moving
gears.
art. It's got
So
gears
it's
in
art.
it.
Yeah, it's decorative. I'll give you that. He's a man that owns 4 arts. I really, I'm not to call you out anymore, but I'm like, you asked me to lend you my nail gun, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the nail gun that does the smallest nails that I possibly get. The finishing nails or brad nail, I can't remember. But I asked him, do you not own a hammer? And I'm pretty sure you own a hammer. And I'm pretty sure you just told me as I walked in, I think in your garage are more of those finishing nails.
Yeah, but they're in the clips.
You could break them off.
Well, they bend easy, and I don't want to rip the painting. The angle's precarious.
How crazy are you hammering?
I'm a madman. I don't have any pictures on my walls until you took me to buy them.
All right, man. I thought you've swung a hammer once in your life. So, anyway, any excuse to use nail gun. They're very fun. I won't criticize you for that. There's one more accused from Technical Grocery 859. Mark's obsession with horses. I'm still catching up on episodes, but one thing is becoming clear. Mark seems to have an obsession with horse genitalia. I just finished Sweets, Treats, and News Beats, and he mentioned how large horse dicks are. Why in that episode
That's what I'm wondering with that title. What is going on?
On another episode, he also said, and I quote, I finger horse. He proudly exclaimed it even. Mark, explain yourself. Listen, I don't know what episode that I said that in, but I'm assuming it's the same episode, or not. I have no idea.
I felt like horse breeding came up at some point.
In Sweets, Treats, and News Beats? Oh, Sweets, Treats.
Because I don't remember what we were talking about, but I think horse breeding came up, and we talked about how most horse breeding is done through like artificial insemination. They'll get the sperm and then they'll insert it in with separate so they don't injure each other.
It was the same episode. So I just looked up on the GMFST subreddit. Go there for all your JQ's needs. Want to be inside me? Go there. For the possession.
Oh,
it's a possession.
Okay.
It's a possession. In your possession. Anyway.
Yeah, you too could be inside Mark with your Reddit posts.
It was something in the description here. It says the mustachioed Markiplier, which I do, but it's part of the beard, I guess. Anyway, bring you big, huge, humongous sports news. Is that in reference to horse dicks?
I don't think so.
But in the comments, it says, I finger horts will never be lived down.
This is so long ago that I don't remember
episode.
Yeah.
Why were we talking about horse dicks?
I think horse breeding came up for some reason.
Did it?
Yeah, because I think it might have been the one where you brought up ponies, and we were talking about how ponies are made, like miniature horses.
Okay, don't just say that I casually bring up ponies, or you're gonna get the bronies out of here assuming things. Look, this is how it started. You get me going on a bit, and I can't say no to a bit, and then suddenly people are accusing me of liking horse genitalia. And I'll be the first to say that I don't. I guess I'm indifferent. I don't hate. Why would I hate? That makes it seem like I'm jealous. Like I'm just like, yeah,
no, it's not mine.
Oh, it's a horse. Man, that would be a burden, though. It would be far worse than you could possibly imagine. It would not be a thing that you would want.
If we were talking absolute size or relative size, absolute size, yes.
This is making
relative
it
size,
seem like I've given this
good.
A lot of thought. Like, oh, trust me. You know, I had a genie, and I wish that no. Took me years to find another genie to reverse that.
3 wishes. First one, horsecock. Second one, remove the horsecock. Third one, can I have mine back, please?
That's too warm. This jacket is very warm.
It is actually quite warm in here.
It's cold in LA today, which is weird.
Chica even was like, hey, it's too warm. And she wandered off onto the tile.
Yeah. But it's better now. Anyway, the ghosts are gone. That does it for our Jacuzzi section, which we haven't done in a while, but there was a good number of jacuzzis this time. So go to reddit.com/r/GMFST and you can be part of the show if you have things to complain about.
Yeah, and make sure and use the jacuzzi flare.
Yeah, there's a flare for it. If you don't know how to use the flare,
when you're putting a post, it says add flare. That's where you put it.
That's where you put it.
And it does show up on mobile.
Also, I apologize for sniffing. I'm just getting over a sickness. I feel 100% better, but I've never produced more snot in my life. I don't know what that's about.
Speaking of dangerous activities, like sickness, which can kill you.
It's not really an activity. It's just something that happens.
But it becomes an activity, an action of being sick. Is that a noun? That's more of a noun. It's a descriptor.
Sick is a noun?
Isn't it?
No, that's an adjective.
You are sick.
It's an adjective. Actually, no, it's a state of, I guess.
It's like a state of being.
I am sick. It's the subject of that sentence, but it doesn't mean it's a noun. But what would it be? Oh, actually.
English is hard. I guess that you can work that way because there's a subject.
Oh, no. Wait, no, sorry. I is the subject. Sick is the adjective. It's like, in this case, in Korean and other language, there are cases where the verbs and adjectives are the same thing and they don't have an independent description of it. Because in this case, it is like, I am being sick and I am sick. It's like a description and it's a state of being. It's an action. It's a state that you're in. It's a continuing but temporary state, therefore.
But sickness is a noun.
Sickness is a noun because that is a thing. But you wouldn't say, I am sickness. Well, you might if you're awesome. If you're super cool, you might, I am sickness. But
new band name, Sickness.
I think actually I am the sickness. I am the sickness.
Yeah.
I am the sickness.
It could be a monster in a horror movie too.
You want the butcher.
Anyway, things that potentially are dangerous and can result in death. We have some interesting sports that, as we classified them, potentially deadly. Now, that's not to say other sports aren't potentially deadly. There are a lot of many ways that someone can die, and some ways that are more hilarious than others, and some ways that are more gruesome than others.
This guy thinks dying's hilarious.
There's a show that was like 10 dumb ways to die or something.
10 dumb ways to die?
What was it? Stupid ways to die?
There was a cartoon which originally started as a PSA for like a train safety thing that was like, dumb ways to die.
Yeah.
You know, there was that.
Yeah.
Was there a show?
There was some sort of show that like talked about different ways people have died doing something stupid.
Oh, right. No, that does ring a bell. It was like on History Channel or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or Discovery or one of those kind of types of channels.
Worst ways to die, maybe?
It was like 1,000 ways to die. You're actually right.
That's it. 1,000 ways to die.
Yeah.
That's the one. Mm-hmm. All right. But these are sports that, from the outlook, are very dangerous. And if you don't know what you're doing, will likely have you dying. The first one we have, are you scared of heights?
As much as the normal person, probably. I don't like
this one is called highlining.
Oh, God. Oh.
So thousands of feet suspended in the air on a slackline.
I see.
They do have safety measures, so I don't really think it's that deadly if you do it with safety measures, but there are people that do it without it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I see the rope.
I'm facing out into what's called
and it's supposed, instead of being tight, it's actually slack. So
it just sinks a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just physics. I doubt you could really get it tight enough to be perfectly rigid at certain ways. Yeah.
And it's like a webbing, you know, like climbing webbing instead of being like just a like cable. Like tightrope walkers are on like a cable.
Right. Oh, there she goes. And if you didn't have that, you'd be dead or horribly injured.
Yeah. So highlining requires incredible balance and potentially a death wish if you do it without the safety lines. But if that's your cup of tea, this is a sport for you, where you balance on tiny ropes strung across mountain peaks, cliffs, and all sorts of deadly drops, where if you fall in some cases, you may be connected to a safety line with a tether. But the most extreme ones, much like Alex Honnold would free solo, do so with no tether or safety net to catch below.
See, this bothers me more than, say, even free soloing, because you can't predict when a big gust of wind, what you're anchored into, and this does apply to climbing, but what you're anchored into could fail. Like, it's, even if it's in rock, like, it could fail because the mechanical advantage of the angle of the slack pulling on it changes as you're going through it, and that wiggles. So in engineering, anything that vibrates is going to fail eventually. If it shakes, it will fail at some point, because that's just how the physical world works. If it's
same thing with like stretching.
Exactly, yeah. Any kind of repetitious mechanical stress will find a point of failure eventually, given a long enough time horizon. It just depends on when that's going to fail. So I think that this one, that's why, even in climbing routes, there are things that are like seem really safe anchors, but you still have more than one, because at any moment, the rock there could have a slightly different composition from everything else around it. The thing itself could have a flaw in it, or
rust,
something.
corrosion.
Anything could be. Someone didn't put it in right,
Or they fell on it recently and it jostled just enough.
Exactly. It tugged it really hard, There's a lot of reasons why these things could fail. And there's only one point of failure that needs to fail for you to die in that. Yeah.
And there are plenty of options for point of failure, including human failure. But weather impact, I mean, the wind blowing, the swing, rain. I mean, I don't know where it's connected to over here, but you fall down here, I don't see a way you're getting up.
Yeah, it's
like on your own.
You'd have to swim around, and I don't even know how cold that water is, deep. I don't know what's there. It doesn't look great.
This is kind of recreational. I don't know if there's competitions for it, but it's a slackline discipline that's practiced at great heights between mountains, buildings, bridges, elevated structures, which mostly plays on your mental game and mindset, far more important than your technical and physical ability. Because avoiding adrenaline rush, I think we've talked about this with rock climbing. If you get an adrenaline rush, you start to shake because what it does is it actively wants to like clench your muscles. You need to avoid that when you're in life and death situations hanging on a cliff edge, because one, it'll fatigue you, but two, that adrenaline rush creates a flight or flight response, which unfortunately is animal instincts and reduces your overall intelligence and planning capabilities. Yeah, a lot of people do this with backups, but it is a high flying sport. And there are competitions, and I imagine the competitions relate to who's doing it higher and farther.
I am good.
Yeah. So now we move on to a very common one that people will agree is incredibly gruesome and scary.
Yes.
Bull riding.
Bull riding.
A 2,000-pound horde monster who can and will end you. Cross him, and you go, yeah.
Say whore monster?
Horned.
Horned. I'm like, come on, don't call it a whore. What's wrong with you?
Maybe he likes that.
Okay, let's not base an assumption of another assumption.
Anyway, to ride a bull, you climb on its back, usually weighing between 1,200 to 2,000 pounds. And obviously, they're not meant to be ridden. In fact, they are trained to want to knock people off. And the goal is to stay on as long as you can while holding on with only one hand. And I recently just saw a TikTok of a guy getting slammed into the wall.
I saw the same one.
So you can see he's really tightening his hand into there to hold on. So, I mean, shoulder and elbow injuries got to be crazy.
Yeah.
And then a lot of spinning and bucking usually is what happens. And the goal is 8 seconds in the pro circuit. And then you can see the people standing around, which their job... they're actually like circus clowns.
Yeah.
A lot of them are previous circle clowns, but they're there to distract the bull once the guy gets bucked off, so he doesn't get trampled or stuck.
Yeah.
And to basically then get the bull corralled.
I was going to say, where's the clowns? I think that this one always fascinated me because I always thought, but the bulls are different. So one bull's going to buck harder than the others, right?
And different patterns.
So how do they determine who actually wins?
So it's based on judge scores. So length of time gives you a perfect score on time. But then the difficulty of the bull, which the bulls have difficulty ratings.
Okay.
And you get random draws, by the way. And
I
usually
see.
in a circuit, from what I've read, you ride like 3 different ones.
Okay.
And then you're judged based on the score overall on those. So a lot of times you'll ride what other people ride, and sometimes it's luck of the draw, because some bulls have patterns, some bulls are irregular, and I mean, there's studying that goes into it. I read a book on this when I was a kid about a guy wanting to be a bull rider. He started out riding broncos, which is the horse version where they buck. And so the whole concept is there's study, there's protection, and understanding the patterns so you can anticipate the bull's movements, and it's being strong and on there, but also being loose and relaxed so that you can ebb and flow with the movement of the bull. But all you need to do to try bull riding is a bull rope, and your normal protective equipment, your gloves, chaps, and helmet. Now, there are plenty of people that do forego the safety with a traditional cowboy hat. In the big leagues, you don't see that anymore. Bull rope, by the way, is handmade, tightly braided length of rope that goes around the chest of the bull and over the back where the rider sits, and he wraps it tight around his hand. So, how dangerous is this compared to highlining? So, highlining deaths have started becoming tracked in 2010. There have been 11 deaths in highlining and a little less than 1 person a year. However, it's estimated that 10,000 or less people worldwide are active highliners, so it's riskier than most sports, and most deaths occur from the tether not being properly secured or it failing. However, with bull riding, injury rate is over 10 times the rate of American football, over 13 times the rate of ice hockey, and has a fatality rate of 4.05 per 100,000.
Okay, but that seems lower than what the slacklining was.
Based on participant example, yes.
Okay.
Bull riding isn't injury-free for the bulls. As a 2017 study published in the Journal of American Vet Medicine found bucking bulls were more likely than non-bucking bulls to develop horn and sinus disorders, as well as muscular structural disorders.
I mean, they are flailing about as hard as they could flail, and that's a lot of weight to flail around.
Well, and they're also kicking. They get pushed into these stalls, and I mean, there's a bull that went Foley and smashed a guy against the wall. Like, you know, they're working themselves more. They're being stressed more. It makes sense that they would have more injuries. Now we jump to heli-skiing.
Heli-skiing?
Now, Mark, we talked about Perfect North.
Yeah.
We talked about skiing. Can you imagine going to a remote area, airdropping to the top of the mountain, and skiing down it?
No. I couldn't before. Damn you. Now I can imagine it.
So he's offloading from the helicopter onto the very top of this mountain with his skis. Looks like both of them are climbing down. Or not climbing down, skiing down.
Yeah.
Now, heli-skiing isn't just for people who ski. It also is snowboarders. They do it as well. One of the scariest things you can run into in these zones are avalanches. So you have to understand snowpack and the shelving and risk assessment. But as you can see, this is considered an extreme sport because the Red Bull helmet is there.
That's how you know. Okay, let me tell you, of all the things that are in this clip, which is people getting out of a helicopter, the thing I hate the most is the helicopter. I just don't like helicopters in general.
The mechanical, the way that they work is obscene.
It's absurd that anyone gets in a helicopter. And I've been in a helicopter and I was like, and even then I was like, wow, this is a great view. I'm not doing this ever again. It's just the open blades, the single points of failure, the really, really high. If you want to talk about dangerous sports, being in a helicopter has to be actually up there on the list.
There's probably helicopter racing somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure there is. And it's just like, I know that the higher you go in a helicopter, the thinner the air is, the less it works.
Yes.
The more, and there's large gusts up there of wind, and there's just like these horrible stories of helicopter accidents, not just for the people riding them, but because it's a big spinning blade. It's just, I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I don't think they should exist.
I feel like the only reason helicopters exist is because of their ability to vertically lift off and land.
Yeah. The advantage of it is there. And which is why I think no one should have individual rideable drones.
Oh my God.
That shit terrifies me. Just some jackass going, and then I'm just la-di-da one day, and I'm like, sliced in half. Just, Actually, not even sliced in half. Blended. You know, just like, oh, I'm dust. And it's like, there's nothing I can do about that. I don't like it. Or you need to pass some laws, some regulations about this.
Against these helicopters.
Anyway, you can ski all you want, but these goddamn, they're just, you know, when the clankers find out about the helicopters.
Yeah, so they ski down their path through the snowpack. A lot of these drops, and I mean, they have hundreds of feet drops that they'll come off of and land into deep powder and get out. I mean, another thing that people don't talk about with skiing is the tree wells that happen when snow is flowing down the mountain. Those are deadly. And it's just on the other side. You fall in, you end up head upside down, and you're trapped.
Nothing you can do.
And if nobody knows you're there, you are screwed.
You're dead.
Generally, a lot of these heli-skiers in today's day and age ski where people have skied before. But there are plenty of people that go out into uncharted territory onto mountains. Some people will be saved by helicopter rescue, you know, different things like that. There's a person who skied down Mount Everest, I believe, just relatively recently, the first person to ever do it.
No thanks.
Basically, you need skis or a snowboard, a backpack with survival gear, including an avalanche transponder, GPS coordinates, flares. Safety equipment is huge. And then a skilled helicopter pilot, crazy enough to drop you off on the top or side of a mountain.
And that is true. You got to be crazy to do that. It's like I saw a video today that was of James Cameron talking about the Terminator 2 stunt where the helicopter went under the bridge and how that was real. And he was talking about like the whole crew refused to do this. They refused to film it. They refused to be a part of it. So I was like, I'll just film it myself. And it was presented in a way like, oh, you know what? I'm so tough. All these guys are wimpy babies. I'll do it myself. And everyone should applaud for that. And I'm like, no, they were right. I would never in my life, ever in my life, ask anyone, even an experienced helicopter pilot, I wouldn't ask them to do that because it's fucking insane. It is absurd to think about it. All for the shot. Oh, I gotta get the shot. Oh, it's gotta go under the overpass. That's so cool. That'll make the movie. No.
To think about all the helicopter shots in Mission Impossible. Oh my God!
It's fine to do it's fine to have helicopters in a movie, but doing something that is absurdly reckless that everyone is not comfortable with and just doing it anyway. That's just it's such a jackass movie.
The first death I think on a film set that was due to an action shot was due to a helicopter.
Probably.
There was a stunt show. I recently saw this. I don't remember why, but it was like, I think it had to do with like children on set or something like that.
Oh, don't say that. Oh,
yeah.
No.
So anyway, getting into how dangerous heli-skiing is. Back in 2019, the first extensive study of heli-skiing operators by Simon Fraser University expert Pascal Higeli, fascinating, drew on 713 incident reports from 3,258,000 skier days between 1970 and 2016. It was found that for the duration of the study, there were 19.4 deaths per million skier days for heli-skiing. However, the risk widely varies depending on if you are booking with a ski resort or do a relatively safe trip to a known path or a professional skier being dropped off on an unknown mountainside. Large amount, 19.4 deaths per million skier days. So they're looking at overall skiing days, period.
1 million skiing days is a lot of days, but I guess if you think of it in terms of YouTube, like watch hours is how they kind of categorize the watch time, and that gets up there pretty quickly. I have several billion watch hours cumulatively. Yeah,
and this is just, basically it's like the ski season. So that's per million skier days. That doesn't mean that's per amount of times people have gone heli-skiing. That's just per skiing days. All right, Mark. Winter Olympics is going on.
Well,
It's not over yet, is it?
By the time people are hearing this.
That's true. That's
it'll be
true.
Long
it is
gone.
Over. That's right. But there is a summer version of a very popular winter sport called luge. Street luge, to be exact.
Oh, boy.
Risk heights on tightrope, whatever. Jump out of a helicopter to ski? Sure. But nothing takes into the need for speed with moving obstacles, other racers, and cliffside fall potential like street luge. So, they'll race in all conditions. That person seemingly got into a wreck.
No, I think that guy's won.
I think that guy
celebrating.
Okay, that could be true. But you can tell how fast they're going.
Yeah.
hay bales are their protective barrier.
Better than nothing, I guess. Better than that concrete wall I see right there.
Instantly burning rubber from the shoes.
From the shoes. I love that.
Yep.
Well, I don't love it, but it is what it is.
Specialized equipment.
I'm okay with this if it's like a closed road and closed circuit and controlled environment. Like this is very dangerous, of course, but people are willing to do it and they're all agreeing to do it. I'm not going to stop anyone from doing it. So sure, as long as it doesn't endanger everyone else and people are just randomly doing it. Like, I'm going to do it on this random ass street.
There are people that do occasionally do it on random ass streets.
Yeah.
You lie face upwards on a modified skateboard 2 inches from unforgiving tarmac and pelt yourself down a hill at 90 plus miles per hour.
Why not head first? Why not do the skeleton? Street skeleton. Skele Street.
There's not... You'd have to create brakes on the system, so the way that they brake for their
gloves.
turns. Yeah, that's not going to destroy your shoulders.
It's fine. Get stronger shoulders.
You got to steer your way clear of manhole covers, roadside hedges, out of control other street lugers. High speed, you might want to consider having protective equipment amongst yourself with helmet, glove, a lot of times Kevlar clothing. So how dangerous is it? Well, there are no official reports of injury or death rates for street luge, but estimates put the fatality rate as 1 in 4,000.
Damn, that's not good odds.
Yeah. And there's also a second version. Here's another view of like an actual race that's happening. But usually you have 4 racers.
4 seems like a controllable number. That's all right.
Yeah, I've seen ones. I think that's become a more regulated thing. There used to be races where there's a lot. I remember growing up and seeing them. And this is something my brother and I did a little bit of on our skateboard on our street. We didn't go down like driveways or anything, but we had my dog Matilda. We created a foam harness for her, like a sled dog, and one of us would run and she'd chase and we'd hold on and then
Seems like they're going like 40, 45, maybe 50 miles an hour. I'm trying to gauge if I was in a car going that fast, whipping down those turns. It looks like 50.
Yeah, you can get up to, I think, 90. I think that's the world record of the street luge. But there's another version of standing street luge.
I've heard of this.
It's basically longboard races.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I thought this was the one where they had wheels on their knees and wrists and things. I've seen that.
I have heard of that one too.
Yeah.
But this one is basically longboard racing.
Yeah.
But they also, the drift turns and stuff that they do, you can see they got the brick palms.
Oh, maybe this is what I saw. Yeah, I remember someone putting their hands down and steering that way. Maybe we talked about this on an episode at one time.
Maybe in the skateboarding one. Maybe we did talk briefly about longboard.
Yeah, I think maybe, yeah. Mm-hmm.
These guys also go pretty fast, and you can see they use their hands as their braking tools, as well as using it to be able to drift and adjust the angle of the skateboard.
You were saying, oh no, your shoulders would get hurt.
It's different when you're laying down and trying to brake like this.
It's different when you're laying down. Yeah, right. That doesn't seem as dangerous, though. That seems a little slower. You're obviously kind of not so uncontrolled. I'm holding on just and hoping.
Also, you have a little more visibility because you're not looking down with your chin.
And if you fall, you can kind of tuck and roll as opposed to becoming the crayon instantly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. The last one, while it is seemingly a tourist activity now in Nicaragua, originally by its name, you would not think it would be safe.
Oh.
Active volcano surfing.
Oh.
Now, what they show most of the time is these are people on sleds. These are usually tourists that go up and go on. But you ride down ash, which a lot of skiers in Colorado go to the Great Sand Dunes in Colorado and practice skiing with their old skis. So being able to do it on ash would work relatively the same.
Yeah.
A little more rocky, less smooth necessarily.
Probably cut you up a good bit.
A lot of times, as you see here, they have these little specialized sleds, but there are people who will take their boards and actually snowboard down it.
Right.
As you can imagine, when you're doing this, there are lava tubes that are underneath you. There's the potential for another eruption because that is literal fresh ash from an eruption.
Yeah, that's true.
It sounds terrifying. When I first heard of this, I was like, impossible. They can't be riding on lava. And then I realized it was on ash.
Oh, okay. I thought I see.
So, but what you need is an active volcano. The most famous one currently is in Nicaragua. There's some in, I think, New Zealand. And something to slide down on. You might want to wear head-to-toe protective equipment. A lot of times jump suits and goggles to protect because it is hot. You are close to where the top of the volcano is, and active eruptions can occur, bubbling, and the heat that comes from lava and magma. But a lot of it is to help protect you when you wipe out, because that stuff is going to tear up your skin.
Yeah.
How dangerous is it? No recorded deaths associated with volcano surfing. However, that might be in part due to deaths not being tracked. While on the surface it looks like a touristy activity, there's always the risk of bubbling below. Sport takes on an active volcano, so there's always the risk of an eruption. And while volcanoes are monitored by scientists for warning signs, in some cases there's an hour's notice before an eruption. 2019 on White Island, New Zealand, a popular tourist destination at the time known for its volcanic activity, 22 out of 47 people on the island at the time died when that volcano erupted.
And some of them must have been sledding.
Potentially.
Some of them had to have been sledding. Just goes to show, sledding angers the volcano gods, and they will kill you.
The other thing that a lot of people don't know is if you go to the top of a volcano, some people are like, I'm going to throw a rock into the lava or magma. You disturb that surface tension, can cause an eruption.
You can. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's always the risk of death, but it is currently a tourist activity that seems to be very popular in Nicaragua.
Haven't heard many volcanic eruptions recently. It's been kind of quiet.
It has been. It has been. Wasn't the last one?
Oh, never mind. A day ago, Hawaii's Kailua volcano erupts. Whoa, spew lava thousands of feet into the air. Yes, please. I'll watch that. Oh, whoa, that's pretty cool.
We know of one that happened yesterday.
Volcanoes are happening.
But that's all I have for deadly sports. I'm sure there are plenty of other extremely deadly sports, but that's where you guys can come in with your Reddit posts. Reddit.com/r/GMFST. If you have any deadly sports you want to add to this list or things that I haven't heard of or thought of, you can add it as a accuse, yelling at me for not having it.
What he said, I think.
Do you have any deadly sports or activities that you can think of right now?
Why, I'm not, that's not my job. I'm here just to react. I'm the lovable goof who comes with the jokes.
All right, well, that's going to do us for this episode. Be sure to go check out the store.gmfst.com. Some new merch items might be there for you to enjoy. Go check it out. Get yourself something cool to wear, something cozy, something that you can wear to work out in. But that's going to do it for us here. Have a great day.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.